In today's video, I'm going to be trying to survive 100 days in hardcore, except there's going to be a little bit of a twist. Yup, that's me. The character I'm playing as isn't even half of a block. Oh, and also, don't forget, Axolotls only have 7 hearts. And one more thing, I'm going to be surviving this challenge with Mapicc. Can we pitter-paddle our way through this hardcore journey? Watch the entire video to find out. So without any further ado, here is 100 days hardcore as an Axolotl. It's day 1, a start of a new adventure. Me and Mapicc had no idea where we were, but our first instincts were to jump in the water. We also found out we could stay in the water as long as we wanted and also on the land as long as we wanted. Now this adventure was gonna be a fun one. We were gonna try to get past all these simple steps like getting wood and getting stone really fast so we could at least have a base by nighttime. Let me tell you, it's gonna be a lot of getting used to not even being half of a block tall. Like, look at this. Look at the way I jump on this block. I'm not even a quarter of it. Alright, that's enough messing around. I think it's time to start getting to work. Well, we've seen the dark sides of living as an Axolotl, but now it's time to look at the things we can do. Like strip mine by 1 block. And also the sound of, hear me out, how cute it is to hurt an Axolotl. Okay, I swear I'm not, you have to listen to the clip. That sound is so cute though. Hold on, be quiet. Hey, and I guess messing around every now and then can get you some good things. And also, mind you, for the future, this was my first time playing in 1.17, so a lot of this stuff was new to me, like these iron textures, and I am not a big fan of it. In the comments below, tell me what you think of them. Oh, looks like a head.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It has the stem, and then it has like the...
No.
Yes, yep. And the rest of day 2 was spent talking about this, conversation. Anyways, day 3. Day 3 started off with me being super excited about finding other friends in the ocean. Except then, Mapicc told me that axolotls eat fish. So I guess we're having them for dinner! And now it's finally about time I thought we would start making tools and going mining. I started by getting some copper just in case I needed it for later builds. And also getting some coal and iron. And on the night of day 3, as the sunlight disappeared and the darkness set in, my first encounter would begin. I started by getting a crit attack to startle the beast, and then I jumped in the water. Oh, I completely demolished it. Never mind, let's continue the adventure. Okay, but that encounter did remind me that I do have plenty of iron and I should probably make some armor. And with this iron, I first made a shield, a chest plate, and some boots. Oh, and we also found out you can't see any of the armor you have on with your Axolotl. Oh, and for some reason, the health bar also has some glitch where, like, it shows the extra 3 hearts, but trust me, you don't ever get them. As you can see, my hunger bar is full, but I never get the hearts, so it's okay. Then after taking a good day's break from the caves, we went back in there so I could get the rest of the iron I needed for the rest of my armor. And stupidly, I decided to go in the caves deeper by myself. And you would have thought that creeper would have scared me enough to go call Mapicc to back me up, but nope, I decided to go in alone even more. I was able to deal with these skeletons pretty well, but then I started getting surrounded by way too much mobs. But luckily, before anything bad was able to happen, Mapicc was able to find me. And together, we fought all the mobs off. We also wanted to stay pretty close together exploring this cave so nothing bad could happen to us. And we got really lucky with this cave generation. Right away, we found a mine shaft. And while I was trying to mine to Mapicc, I had one of the scariest encounters I think I've ever had playing Minecraft. Oh my god, that's a jump scare. Okay, I know it might not seem scary, but I swear to god, in the moment with a random creeper popping in your face like that, it was, terrifying. Oh yeah, and turning this corner was also pretty terrifying, seeing 20 mobs go after me at the same time. Oh my god, as you can see from these clips, I was terrified. I did not want to lose, not here and not now. I tried to run away to heal, but I didn't have any food on me, so it was no use. So I went back to try to kill all the mobs off. I just needed to distract them long enough so maybe it could destroy the spawner. But the scenario I was in with no armor and the spider knocking me back into the water was not helping. So I decided to try to use the water to my advantage and use it to get away. I distracted them long enough, Mapicc had destroyed the spawner, now we would just need to meet up. It took a whole day to do it, but we were finally able to meet up. And luckily, Mapicc had some food for me, so I was able to heal up before we finished off all the mobs. And before we finished them all off, I put my iron in the furnace to smelt it so I could finally have full armor. I first made some leggings, then a helmet, and finally, I had full iron armor. Me and Mapicc then went out and finished the last remaining spiders. Then right before we left the cave, just for safety precautions, I made an iron sword just so I didn't die on the way leaving out. Oh! But I would have never predicted that would be a way to die. Anyways, let's move on and finally leave this cave. Me and Mapicc were in the cave so long that we used up all our food, and when we got out, we had to create the most ghetto farm I have ever seen. But hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, and also I was at 1 heart. It's about time I think I say this, but it's time we make a house. And the first step in motion here was actually to try to find an area. And just after a bit of searching, we actually found this super beautiful place and decided this was our place for our home. Day 17, after finding a good place for our home, we decided to start chopping down trees so we could actually make it. For the design of this house, we decided we wanted to base it off of Technoblade's house on the Dream SMP because we thought it was a really cool design. And just to put it in short, basically just an L-designed house. On day 18, I came up with a really good idea to only make the house out of 1.17 blocks. So we went to go travel deep in the caves to find the new block Amethyst so it could be our roof. Whoa! That's so cool.
Grab all you can.
And I gotta admit, the new Amethyst block looks really cool. We also found these really cool blocks surrounding the Amosite called Calcite and Blackstone block, I think it was. I don't even know, but we decided to grab those too. And after collecting lots and lots of these blocks, we finally headed home so we could finish up our house.
What did I just say?
Well, after we finished rebuilding the house again, our house was looking good. There was only one problem, that it was completely terrible, and the roof was even worse. And we were not about to live under this ugly roof, so we completely scrapped it and made a new one. But as you can tell, this did not end up working either, and we tried changing this roof many times, and it still didn't work. And it was so bad to the point that me and Mapicc just decided to redo the entire house. And this time we actually stuck with the theme of 1.17 blocks and actually looked a lot better. I just realized it's day 30 in the 1.17 update, and it's basically focused on caves, and I've barely been down there, so I decided to go down there and explore. And it turned out to be one of the best mining sessions I've ever been on. I first went and mined some lapis, then I went strip mining and instantly found a 4 vein of diamonds. And only about 10 minutes later, I found 5 more. Man, I could have diamond armor in no time. And on day 32, guess what? Even more diamonds. And on day 33, I came out of the cave a happy man with 17 diamonds. Oh, and also something really cool is copper actually changes colors like in real life. And it gave me the best idea. Whoa, that copper looks really cool now. It's like the Statue of... We should make the Statue of Liberty. We're making the Statue of Liberty. And so we set ourselves a goal before the 100 days is over to make the Statue of Liberty. And that's a lot of copper. And with my diamonds, I decided to make a diamond chest plate, some diamond leggings, and I would save the rest for when I found some more. And while I was gone, Mapicc made a potato farm so we wouldn't be starving anymore, and also got some diamonds of his own. On day 35, I came to the realization that we have built nothing, and usually in my 100 days, we build a lot, so we started getting to work on our own little projects. I was trying to build a stable for some animals while Mapicc was trying to make an enchanting area. I started with a barn roof design for this stable. Then I added some fences so the animals couldn't get out of the area. And I was gonna leave it at this, but then I thought it looked way too basic. So I decided to build up all the other sides and extend the roofs to them too. And after finishing it, here's the end product. And on day 41, I actually found out Mapicc made 2 things. He also made a nether portal, so we decided to go through it. But as soon as we went in, we saw how unprepared we were, and we got scared and left. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a while before I go in there again. I do not want to die on day 41. And you know what they say, when life gets a little boring, you have to take a risk. And on day 42, that's exactly what I did. I actually risked my entire existence in life.
Oh!
Gonna be honest, I don't know how I survived there. I probably should have died, but we're just not gonna talk about it. And after that near-death experience, I decided to help Mapicc with his project and make him an enchanting table. And then I went and placed it in his little enchanting room. And when it came to day 43, his build was finally done. The only thing was his build was basically on a whole nother island, and we did not want to swim every time we wanted to get over there, so I decided to build a bridge. But while I was building my bridge, I got rudely interrupted by these raiders, so I decided to kill them off pretty quickly. At least, that's what I thought would happen. I was so confident until I saw how much damage these guys' crossbows did. And while I was trying to run away not to die to these guys, I fell in this ravine. This left me at 2 hearts, but I did not want to leave Mapicc up there alone. And while Mapicc had him distracted, I went up behind him and murdered him, finishing off the raid. And now that I've dealt with that, I could finally get back to my peaceful bridge building. For this bridge design, I wanted to keep it simple, and I just went with a tunnel bridge. I made the roof of this bridge a mix of trapdoors and slabs. And when I finished the bridge, it looked like this. On day 51, the pillagers tried to come back and finish us off, but that did not work very well for them. And on day 51, we both went back into the caves to finish getting the rest of our diamond armor. And while we were on our way to find some, we actually found this really cool glow squid in this dark cave. And we also found some Axolotl brothers, and at this point, I didn't know which one was Mapicc, and this was really confusing. But then I realized he was the one spinning in the water like an idiot. And we really wanted to keep this guy, so we cooked up some raw iron so we could make a bucket and capture him. Yeah, the cutest predator. And now that I say that out loud, Minecraft, that was not a good name for this achievement. But after that, it was straight back to mining some diamonds. And right away, I was actually able to find an 8 vein. Oh, I just found an 8 vein. And a couple minutes later, I was able to find a 5 vein. And when I was on my way up, I was able to find 3 more. And then I came up on day 53, a happy man with 16 diamonds. And I made those diamonds into a helmet, some diamond boots, and some tools. And we finally took our little friend out of the bucket, and he is the cutest thing ever. And Mapicc also showed me all the copper he went while mining so we could finally make the Statue of Liberty. So I smelted some smooth stone bricks and started getting to work on building the base. And for this, I didn't really go for any type of design, I just tried to make it as close to the Statue of Liberty as possible. And after the base was finished, Mapicc got started on building the Statue of Liberty. And I gotta say, Mapicc actually did a very good job with building this Minecraft Statue of Liberty. And now the final step was just to put a crown on it. And boom, the Statue of Liberty is done. And now that we're over halfway through these days, we kind of wanted to get out of our house area and explore for a little bit. But our main goal out here was to find a village. This was because if we could start a raid at that village, we might be able to get some totems of undying. And after exploring 300 blocks north, we found a village. And we had no time to prepare. We forgot the effect was already on Mapicc. The final war with the pillagers had now begun. We went in and rung the bell so the villagers were all safe. And now that everyone's safe, it's time to prepare for battle. The first wave wasn't that bad, with us being able to take them out pretty easily. But the second reinforcements wouldn't be so easy. With the mix of the night mobs and the pillagers, this fight was horrible. Every corner you turned, there was mobs everywhere. I saw Mapicc was stuck on a roof surrounded by all the pillagers, so I ran around and killed the Ravager. But then all the mobs that were stuck under the house started chasing me, and it took me to 3 hearts. But luckily, as we finished the second wave, it turned to daytime. But that still wouldn't save us from the third wave's destruction. I managed to somehow get every single pillager on me in this raid. And the only plan I could think of at the time was to circle around the house and kill them one by one. And a combination of that strategy and a bit of stalling, Mapicc was able to meet up with me. But it seems in this new 1.17 update, these Ravagers had learned a new move. But with both of us together, that attack could not save them. And it seemed killing their best bet off made them angry. And while I was trying to help Mapicc, a Vindicator came behind me and took me to 1 heart. At this point, I was struggling and I tried to hit it to get it away from me. But being surrounded by all these pillagers, I was forced to go inside this house. And when I healed up and came out, there was only 2 left, and we finished them off and saved the village. Well, that was one of the hardest raids I've ever done. Almost died a couple of times, but I'm glad we were able to save the villagers. And now it was just time to take the villagers home. And when we made it home on the night of day 60, me and Mapicc were able to take 2 home. And we would keep them in this cage until we found out what we wanted to do with them. Day 61. I remember it like yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where that was going, but yeah, day 61. I went to the nether to mine some quartz so I could get some levels to enchant. And I was in there for a while. I wanted to make sure I had enough levels to enchant all of my stuff. Then when I had enough levels, I went to go enchant my stuff. And on my pickaxe, I got efficiency 3 and unbreaking 3. On my chestplate, I got thorns 2, protection 3, and unbreaking 3. On my leggings, I got really unlucky and only got unbreaking 3. And also got the same thing on my helmet. And finally, my boots got unbreaking 3 and protection 4. And on day 63, I thought it was about time we name our Axolotl. We decided to name him Carl Azus. Carl Azus! Apparently, Mapicc had an Axolotl too, and he decided to name his John Quinones. Yeah. Nope, apparently he had 2, and the last one he named Chris Hansen. So we just realized it's day 64, and we haven't even been to a nether fortress or got any blaze rods, and we kinda need to beat the game by the end of day 100. And this turned out to be one of the worst trips to the nether I've ever experienced. While I was mining netherrack, I accidentally hit a pigman and all of them started attacking me. There were way too many locked on me. Mapicc tried to hold them back, but they just kept on coming. And when I tried to knock some of them out, I just took more damage, leading me to 1 heart. I went back to heal, then I came back and we finished them off. Then we hurried to try to find a fortress, but instead we found a bastion. We crossed the lava, trying to avoid any pigmen from shooting me off. Then we jumped onto the bastion and tried to loot as sneakily as possible. Me and Mapicc were able to kill enough of them to where I was able to loot this chest and get a golden apple. Ooh, golden apple. And out of this chest, some obsidian and golden carrots. Now that all the chests were looted, it was time to sneak out. So I came out of my little hiding spot, hitting all of them out of my way, trying to run out. But while trying to escape this gas, I accidentally ran into the lava. Swimming up, trying to eat my food, trying to regenerate while I'm losing health, I was able to get out. And we were happy after we escaped, but then something horrible happened.
No!
No! No! Chris! If you didn't know, all water burns when you're in the nether, so there was no possible way to pick back up Chris Hansen. So we made a proper burial for him, and then left. And days 69 through 72 were spent trying to find a fortress. And on day 73, we found it. We only had a few days left to get all this and beat the Ender Dragon, so we had to have a simple plan. The plan was to kill some blaze rods, trade with the pigmen for some ender pearls, and then get out of there and beat the Ender Dragon. And days 74 through day 80 were spent getting all the blaze rods and ender pearls from trading. And when we got enough, we hurried back home as soon as possible. And right away, we made the Eyes of Ender. And before we left, we hurried and put good enchantments and all of our tools. And then we headed off to the stronghold. Days 82 through 96 were spent trying to find the stronghold. And finally, on day 97, we found it. And we dug down as fast as possible until we found the stronghold. And after searching around and looting all the chests we could, on day 99, we found it. And here were the last few seconds in the overworld before we finished this. We would finish this adventure with only me, Mapicc, Carl Zeus, and John Quinones. We knew this would be a hard fight with 3 less hearts than average, but we would have to fight through and win for Carl Zeus and John Quinones. Our plan would be like any other Minecraft series and just take out the crystals first. And after all of those are taken out, the Ender Dragon would be next. We first tried to hit the beast with arrows to anger it so it could come down so we could get more hits on it. But anytime we stayed still, it just kept on spraying its fire at us. But just a few seconds later, we were able to anger it enough to come down. But it wouldn't let us in with its dragon's breath spreading everywhere. And as soon as I tried to go in for an attack, it just launched me in the air. But by going under the neck of the dragon, its weak point, it wasn't able to hit both of us and we were able to get good hits on it. And as it set me in the air, I took Carl Zeus out of my inventory and clutched with him. I then continued to use him to get down there. You're able to be a big help to me, Carl Zeus. And when the dragon perched for his last time, little did he know it would be his last breath.